about to go down.
Burning your ears with another all-killer and no-filler episode of the best motorsports radio on the planet. It's the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. With your host, Jim Beaver.
Sliding trophy trucks, jumping razors, and dropping the mic at events across the country.
Amy Hood.
What's up, guys? I'm a professional fun haver, dirt bike rider, and monster truck driver.
With support from Polaris RZR, General Tire, Subaru, and DirtFish. Hang on tight, strap in, and get ready to smoke some tires and lay some roost. Here's the man who carries a steering wheel in one hand and a mic in the other. Jim Beaver.
Good morning and welcome to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. This edition of the radio show being brought to you by our good friends at Subaru and Subaru Rally Team USA, as well as DirtFish Rally School. Man, we're getting a little rally-crossy today, if that's even a word. But, yeah, we're going back to, I guess, some of my roots. Started this out, and, man, we were knee-deep in rallycross. You know, kind of grew this show along with Red Bull GRC, served some time as their announcer, their MC, the host of GRC Live Radio. Met some amazing, phenomenal people like Ms. Katie Osborne and Kristen Kenny and my good friend Chris Leone and pretty much every driver in the paddock. And I still keep in touch with all of them. I was actually texting with Steve Arpin this morning, who will be one of our guests next week on air, as well as Chris Atkinson from Subaru. But this week it is all... Man, it's all about the GRC finale. We got some Supercross to talk about. We got that big event, Monster Energy Cup. We got the Formula D finale coming up. It's a big weekend for motorsports. I know SubiFest happening out there in SoCal. So we're going to talk about all that today. Guest Patrik Sandell, driver for Subaru Rally Team USA in the Red Bull GRC Series. Had a long career in rallycross, stage rally before that. Been about 8-9 months since we caught up with Patrik. We're going to talk about this 2017 GRC Series and what's going on with Subaru. And then we got the young gun for DirtFish Rally School in the Lights Series, Connor Martell. Connor the Hammer Martell. He's going to be calling in as well, and it's been quite some time since we caught up with Connor. So got a 1-2 punch there. Amy and I, like I said before, we got a lot to talk about. We answer some fan questions. We got Joe Duncan from Terracross calling in, and we got some big news coming out of the Ken Block camp. So all that and more coming at you today on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. Want extreme performance, reliability, and the most fun you can have on four wheels? The Polaris RZR brings it to you. But you don't need to take my word for it. You can take theirs.
I'm Tanner Faust, and I choose the Polaris RZR because it's the most fun you can have with a steering wheel.
What's up? I'm Ronnie Renner, and I choose Polaris RZR because it's the sickest, most reliable side-by-side on the planet.
What's up, everybody? Heavy D from Diesel Brothers. Listen, I'm on Team RZR because it's hands down the best piece of machinery on the planet.
I'm RJ Anderson, and I choose Polaris RZR because it's the most fun, most capable machine.
Action sports stars, TV personalities, and some of the best race car drivers in the world all choose Polaris RZR because it's the ultimate combination of power, suspension, agility, and fun. Find out more information on the web at PolarisRZR.com or follow at Polaris RZR on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and use the hashtag RZRLife to share your story. For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268-horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305-horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry. It's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Looking to have some fun on four wheels? DirtFish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at DirtFish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle in Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount. As certain as the sun rises and sets around the world, OTSFF Group is dedicated to providing flexible, comprehensive, and reliable transportation solutions. Air transportation, ocean freight, ground transportation, or a combination of services. We offer innovative and custom-built packages specifically designed to meet your transportation needs. OTSFF Group has been keeping shipments moving globally for nearly 2 decades. OTSFF Group, flexible logistics services designed for you. More information at OTSFF.com.
Like what you hear? Catch all the back episodes of the Down and Dirty Radio Show on Apple Podcast, and be sure to rate, review, and subscribe.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Jim Beaver, Amy Hood here, bringing you another fun-filled episode of your favorite action motorsports radio show. Before we get to the fun, I do have to say my friends at General Tire are trying to give you guys $70. That's right. If you buy any 4 tires between October 1st and October 31st, General Tire is going to give you a $70 prepaid gift card. Doesn't matter where you live, as long as it's in the United States. They're going to put some money back in your pocket by giving you $70 from a qualifying set of 4 General Tires. That's all you have to do. Purchase 4 tires between October 1st and October 31st, and go to generaltire.com/promotions, and you can apply for that $70 gift card that comes right back to you. All right, Amy Hood, I know you got some General Tires on the Danger Ranger. You guys getting any kind of... Yeah, you getting any kind of snow up there? I've seen, like, in Denver it's snowing and all these others. I wondered if the North Pole had any snow yet.
Well, actually, sorry to hear that, Denver, but it's beautiful out. It's like 17 degrees Celsius, obviously, and sunny here the last couple of days. Beautiful weekend, great my grass. Have not yet busted out the ice racing tires. So, hopefully I can get a whole other weekend of riding. 2 weeks. I got a race in the States, and yeah, it's been beautiful. And it's usually hit or miss. And either by Halloween, we either have a torrential downpour of snow, a blizzard, it's horrible, you're trick-or-treating in parkas, like there's no point of even buying a costume, or it's still really nice outside. So, yeah, it's kind of hit and miss here, but I guess it's definitely cooling off. Like, it's jacket weather, the evenings are cool, but we have not yet seen a drop of snow. Thank goodness.
Yeah, it's 90-some degrees here in Arizona today, so just saying, we're still in shorts, and whoa, what's going on? Your phone's going crazy, Hood.
Oh, yeah, I know, it's freaking out. We're good.
Yeah, man, you gotta... Yeah. Anyways, no, I got to say, we had some big news happen last week. Kind of towards the end of last week, there was a story that went out on CNET.com. Wanted to bring you guys in the loop. I don't normally self-promote too much, but they did a story on me, and it was kind of fun because it's not too many times where people kind of flip the script on me. But I got to say, Hood, This is one of those that was a bit humbling. But they called me the king of motorsports media. And I kind of laughed at that.
I was so proud.
Well, I kind of laughed at that because I go, well, if I'm the king of motorsports media, that kind of makes you the queen, right?
Oh, that's definitely. I think I like the ring of that. I like the sound of that for sure. So.
Too funny. Yeah, no, anyways, if you guys want to check it out, it's a fun article. We talk actually some stuff that I don't ever talk about, kind of my background, like how I got where I'm at, kind of some of my hobbies growing up, what I'd be doing if I wasn't here, like my first cars and stuff. So if you go to cnet.com, search my name, it's right there. Or if you go to my Facebook page, I posted it up there. My Twitter, if you look through the archives, even Instagram, I think it's there too. So definitely check that out. Good stuff. thanks to everybody who checked out the Star Car video that dropped last week. I think as of right now, we're at 98,000 views. So I'm 2,000 views away from cracking 100 with this video, and this will be the first one that hasn't cracked 100 if we don't get those 2,000 views. But we're only a weekend. I think we're gonna make it. I don't see a reason why not. But thanks to everybody who checked that out, and I don't know what else is happening. I know I've got a daughter that's really, really excited because I think she's going to get to meet Aunt Amy for the first time for her birthday. It sounds like you might be coming out to Arizona to run some razors with me, huh?
I would like to, yes. I mean, we're talking about it right now. It's I gotta head over back down to Florida for Monster Jam. We have our big safety training course that every single driver and all the tech and all the crew go through. That's in a couple weeks in November. So, but yeah, I need to get over to California. I need to kind of, get my feet situated and lock down my place to stay because, between my Monster Jam shows, I'm going to head in and live back down in the southern coast of California and San Diego, my new home, if you will. But, yeah, I mean, not much has been going on right now. It's just everyone's getting all fired up for MEC. We got MEC this weekend, and we talked a little bit about it last weekend. But have you seen the lineup, Jim? Have you had a chance to check it out at all? Who's in and who's out?
No, and I'm kind of pulling things up right now, kind of looking at it. I don't know. Maybe that's something because we got two segments here. Maybe during the break I'll brush up a bit. I mean, there's a lot of storylines going into this one, so I don't know. It's like this is like, I love Monster Energy Cup because, man, they've got so much crap. They've got like UTV races going on at this one. There's so much going on around Monster Energy Cup, but I love it from the actual racing standpoint because I feel like it's our glimpse into 2018. Like things kind of start kind of shaping, and we see what's going to happen. And to me, you can always kind of tell who's going to be hot in 2018 by kind of who's prepared for Monster Energy Cup. I don't know. I mean, I know there's still a couple months before the Supercross kickoff, but I've always felt like it's kind of like the glimpse into 2018.
Yeah, no. I mean, again, you got some big heavy hitters. Obviously, Ken Roxon, Cole Seeley. They're both out, like Baggett. So you have some of the big name riders who are not participating. But I think I think this kind of leaves an open floodgate for Eli Tomac. Eli obviously is an extremely dominant rider, but he is in, and I don't see anybody that is well close to being able to keep up and pressure Eli Tomac. Maybe Jason Anderson, maybe Christian Craig. He sometimes has a good race here and there. He can pull some stuff out of the woodwork. Justin Barsha, obviously on a privateer Yamaha, which I think is going to be wild. But yeah, then we have the Dave Millsap again, who likes to pull these one-trick ponies out of his back pocket. But, I think Eli Tomac is definitely the top runner in for that monster $1 million for winning all three events. I don't know about you, but I think Eli is going to be the guy.
Yeah, well,
if there is any guy, it's Eli.
Yeah, well, and we haven't even talked about this, and I think this is something we'll probably get into the next segment, but we'll talk some riders and where they're at. But before we go to the break, I wanted to mention Davey Millsap signing with Yamaha. It's a big move for him. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
I think it's good. I'm really surprised, to be honest, because he was really inconsistent last year. But he is a strong rider, and he's kind of like Chad Reed. He's kind of creeping up into his end life of his career. He's a little bit older. Obviously has a very well established Supercross career. He's been one of those guys who've been doing it for a really long time. And unlike a lot of riders, he was extremely successful in his mini days. He was one of the top mini riders for decades, and he found a little bit of his peak there for a while, and then he kind of fell off the face of the earth. And if Yamaha's backing him, maybe that we're going to see a whole new Davey Millsap this year. Often when riders jump ship, they kind of have a little bit of a rebirth with their career, and this is a good point in his career, reaching the end, that he might need that rebirth now more than ever.
Yeah, I agree, and I know he's actually not racing Energy Cup, but it was a big announcement a couple weeks ago about him signing with Yamaha. I guess he's got a banged up elbow right now or something, so he's going to sit this one out, which is probably the smart move. And it's all about next year's championship and stuff. But it was just one of those big news bites. I'm like, man, I didn't see that one coming. Millsap's the factory Yamaha. That's definitely a big one for him. And I know Reed, another one. We'll talk about him in the next segment too. He's not running Energy Cup. He's racing in Australia. This next weekend too, and he hasn't announced his 2018 plans. So, at this point, if he's racing in Australia, he's not retiring, but he hasn't really announced where he's going to be at either. And that's kind of one of the big ones. Everybody wants to know where. He's the fan favorite, one of the fan favorites. Where's CR22 going to be?
Absolutely a fan favorite, but no, I can see him making some appearances in Supercross. Whether he's going to ride a full Supercross season, I don't know. And I am interested on finding out. But I do think it's a smart decision to be racing in Australia. There's lots of money to be made there. Not like that guy needs any more of it. Yeah. But and then he's racing back in his hometown. And I think that's another good, thing to do to kind of revitalize your career and kind of build that confidence, boost up, go win some Australian Supercross titles. And, it's very good for Chad's ego, which, he all loves a little too much sometimes.
All right, we're going to take a short break. We come back, Amy and we're going to be talking some more here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. I'm Polaris rider Jim Beaver. I race trophy trucks professionally, host a Down and Dirty radio show, and also travel the country announcing motorsports events. I've seen it all, and trust me, I've done most of it, so when it comes time to relax on the weekend, nothing is better than taking time with my family in our RZR vehicles. They've got the reliability I need to just pick up and go explore the desert, dunes, or trail, and have the capability to attack even the harshest terrain. If you're looking for some of the most reliable and safest, and hands down most capable off-road machines in the world, look no further than Polaris and their award-winning lineup of RZR vehicles. Whether you want your daughter to experience off-road driving for the first time in a RZR 170 like me, take the entire family out in a RZR XP4 1000 on the weekend, or shred the desert and dunes in the all-new RZR XP 1000 Fox Edition, Polaris has you handled. Take my advice and join me and some of the best drivers in the world by driving a Polaris RZR. Check out the full Polaris RZR lineup at Polaris.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris RZR. Are you looking for a place to push yourself behind the wheel and see how your driving skills stack up? DirtFish Rally School is that place. Located on 315 acres of pristine automotive playground at the foot of the Cascade Mountains in Snoqualmie, Washington, right outside of Seattle, DirtFish Rally School is a one-of-a-kind place where everyone from first-time drivers to seasoned professionals like Bucky Lassick and Antoine Lestage can push themselves to their limit. Whether driving the high-performance rally-prepped all-wheel drive Subaru Impreza STI is what you're looking for, or you'd rather hang it all out in the rear-wheel drive Subaru BRZs, DirtFish Rally School has something for everyone. Classes are available from 2 hours to 3 full days and feature instructors with over 150 years of combined racing experience. Whether you're looking to become the best and get an edge on the competition, or just looking to freshen your skills behind the wheel, DirtFish Rally School is the place to go. For more information on registering for classes, visit DirtFish on the web at dirtfish.com, or to check out the latest happenings from DirtFish, follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at DirtFish Rally. Your life demands a tire that provides durability, comfort, and performance, and that's what General Tire delivers for you. From the all-season grip of the Grabber UHP to the comfort and on-road manners of the Grabber HTS to the durability and off-road traction of the Grabber AT2, General has a tire that will help get you where you need to go. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible, because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Thanks for tuning in to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, available live online, in syndication on networks across the U.S., and available internationally on the American Forces Network.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. talking a little Supercross and such, but I did want to talk to you guys about a new partner in the show, my good friends over at GenuinePolarisParts.com. You know me, I race razors, I ride razors. But the thing about razors is you drive them as hard as I do, and things do go wrong once in a while. You know, Polaris prides themselves on the durability and reliability of their off-road vehicles. While these machines are as dependable as anything in the industry, things happen that leave you in need of replacement parts for your favorite toy. You're a do-it-yourselfer, and you want the exact parts that have taken you this far. Not that aftermarket junk. You want the real deal. Well, GenuinePolarisParts.com is your go-to online retailer for genuine, original manufactured parts and accessories. Their step-by-step parts ordering process allows you to ensure you are getting the right parts for your Polaris off-road vehicle. GenuinePolarisParts.com makes it easy and stress-free by having all the diagrams associated with the year, make, and model of your unit. Once you narrow down your search, you will see a list of diagrams that let you visually see the parts that you need to be replaced, which eliminates a headache of second-guessing the part or trying to explain which part you need over the counter at the dealership. All you have to do, go to GenuinePolarisParts.com/Jim Beaver, and you'll be able to redeem a special offer that's exclusive to listeners of this show. That's right. They're going to give you a special offer just for listening to this show. Again, it's GenuinePolarisParts.com/Jim Beaver. Get your parts delivered directly to your door in a few days from GenuinePolarisParts.com. Makes it so easy, Amy Hood. All you have to do is go online, click the link, figure out which part you want, hit send, they mail it right to you. You never have to go to the dealership, and you can repair it in your garage. That's what I like to do. Makes it easy.
Done and done. That sounds very easy.
Done and done. But anyways, we were talking about a few things. I do want to look at me. I'm going to bring up I'm bringing up the monster truck news here, not you. I'm kind of like impressed with myself here. One, I got to give a shout out to our girl Colette Davis for winning her very first ever Monster Jam event in her very first ever try. That is pretty legit, Amy.
Yeah.
You got to give her some credit.
Yeah.
Not an easy feat whatsoever.
Absolutely.
So I don't know. I'm very, very excited about Monster Jam starting in January, because I've got all these friends racing, and now like you and Colette on tour together. You know how to win. She knows how to win. I think the ladies are going to show the guys on this East Coast tour what's up. That's kind of got me excited. And then, I mean, what's that?
Oh, I'm super stoked for Colette, but I'm just going to let her know she's got another thing coming when it comes to the Monster Jam triple threat. The girl can definitely have some moves on that truck. I watched your shows. The best thing about Monster Jam University this year is we really learned some advanced tricks. Colette came in at the right time with the right driver racer mentality, so she was definitely not afraid to try anything new. But that triple threat tour, when we are both driving the trucks, ATVs, and the Monster Jam Speedsters, it's like a whole new ball game. Like, she's better bring her A game. I saw what she's able to do. Now she's got to put it down for 26 consistent shows, and she's got to beat me. She's got to beat the zombie machine, and we got a little bit of obviously a fan favorite machine, but watching her performance, and I'm really excited. It's cool to have another dominant female, but bring the heat, girl. It's on.
Okay. Well, you know what, though? And speaking of another female Monster Jam racer, I've been messaging with her. I've known her for a long time. We've actually never met in person, but we know each other pretty well at this point. But she, I think, debuted the Wonder Woman truck down in Australia, but Rhiannon Buchanan, that truck is alive in the flesh down there in Australia. I think sometime in the next couple of weeks, we're going to have her on this show. She's going to phone us in from Australia, but I've always liked her. Like, she's kind of got your background, like moto background. She was kind of more the announcer and MC. I know she rides a bit, but she's tied in with Monster Jam, but she's running the Wonder Woman truck as well. So I think it'd be fun to catch up with her and kind of get that story and learn about her journey to Monster Jam.
Yeah, for sure. Well, she started actually as an announcer with Monster Jam for quite some time now. So it's really cool to see, again, some more action sports women making a bit of a transition. And I know she was over in Europe and she filled in for Blue Thunder. So she had a little bit of some practice behind the wheel. But, yeah, I mean, look at all these girls coming out through the woodwork. These dominant girls, it's definitely cool to see.
Yeah, for sure. So going back, I know we talked a little bit about Monster Energy Cup. I wanted to kind of dive back down into that just a hair because I think we haven't talked a lot about that. We've been talking about Baja and and short course and a ton of stuff, and I feel like we haven't talked moto. We didn't talk outdoors at all over the summer, which is kind of crazy. But I know we kind of jumped into this, but. I don't know. I mean, there's so many names floating around, and I'm looking at this list, and they're not on there. I mean, guys that were maybe not necessarily Energy Cup, but like looking at the full picture. I mean, Malcolm Stewart, James Stewart. I mean, what's going on with the Stewart brothers? Have you heard anything?
They haven't announced nothing, and it's too bad. I mean, Malcolm is such a great rider, and obviously one of those guys who's a kind of a shoe-in to make the podium at least once a weekend. But I don't know. I mean, they got such a stigma on them and such a target on their back. But, Malcolm doesn't like to do outdoors. And it's put a big red flag up for teams who like to sign riders for a full season, or for a full year, not just half a season, not just a Supercross or not just an outdoor. And it leaves him a little bit challenging to sign. And I don't know. And then, obviously, Stewart, I mean, the man doesn't need all the hassle. I feel like he comes in and he can't just focus on racing. He has every person against him, it's like the soap opera drama with the Stewarts, pretty much. And obviously it's a big mental game. Coming in last year, I really felt like that drama really affected his mental ability, and you see him make these weird crashes and these weird mistakes that's not typical for a James Stewart. And I really think that everything was kind of clouding his mental preparation. And in the Supercross championship, that is key. It's extremely important. That is like the most dangerous track to be riding. I mean, outdoors is one thing, but Supercross is so extremely technical. You don't need any additional factors messing with your mind.
Yeah. What do you think the odds are? And I don't know. James has made a lot of money in his career. There's no doubt about it. Malcolm, not so much. I mean, he's been successful, but he's never had those lucrative, massive contracts, that James has had. He's always kind of had a struggle there. But I think he's equally as talented. He's a phenomenal rider. But what are the chances we see at some point in time, like the Stewarts, form their own team, you know what I mean? And run an independent. I know Chad Reed talked about the struggles he had trying to get funding for it. But I mean, what are the odds we ever see the Stewarts do that?
Well, the Stewart Attic team. James is running his 7 team with the casino. He started his own team when he went to Yamaha, and he kind of funded himself. I think he had 250 rider, but I can't put my money on that. But it's expensive. It's an expensive deal. And he wasn't performing, and it fell through. And I was surprised that he never really hired Malcolm on to ride for him. But I don't know. Honestly, I see the exit of James Stewart. I don't see him fighting for those last little, his straggler years in Supercross like Chad Reed and guys like that. I don't even know. Like, the guy is so unpredictable.
That's a great word for him.
Yeah. I was rooting for him last year for his comeback year, and I hate to say it, but he pooped the bed. Okay? I was just not impressed, and I thought I was going to see the old James Stewart riding out there, hanging out like he usually does. And, nah. I think his time has come. He needs to hang up the boots or go race some enduro or some, I don't know, just change sports now, bro.
Yeah, I could see him doing some one-off stuff like a Red Bull Straight Rhythm, you know what I mean, just for fun here and there. But you think about James, it drives me nuts. When he wants to, he's still got it. I mean, we've seen the flashes of the old Stewart, and he is the fastest guy on track. Nobody can catch him when he wants to. But it's like, I don't know how you light that fire under his ass. It only comes once in a while. Like you said, he's unpredictable. It's the perfect word. You've got Dungey. You know what to expect every single event from Ryan Dungey. Consistency. James, he's either the fastest guy or he throws it away in the first corner and it's like, I quit. You just don't know.
Well, it's hard to take that many seasons off and not race competitively against the competition who's all, you guys are all on the same competitive level. It's nothing is the same compared to racing than, training out at your own track when you're by yourself or with one other guy. It's a completely different mindset. Never mind throwing all the pressures of all this drugs, taking Adderall, Sigma, and all this TV show drama and this and that. Like, it's too much. There comes to a point where he's not in it anymore. He's not on the same competitive level as the rest of them. Of course he's fast. He's definitely set some of the fastest lap times when he came back last year. But he's so unpredictable. I would never want him in my fantasy Supercross league. He would ruin it.
You'd be pulling your hair out to have him in your fantasy Supercross league. Like he would be the worst guy to have on your team because you're either going to win or get last place. There's no in between. All right,
I know.
We got 20 seconds. Real quick, pick to win Monster Energy Cup this weekend. Mine is Jason Anderson.
What? Tomac, boom, let's bet some money on it.
All right, you're on. You are on. You are on. You got, we'll see. But it's going to be a fun time. We got to take a short break. We got Patrik Sandell. He's coming up after the break. Subaru Rally Team USA driver. Looking forward to that. I know Amy and we got some more to talk about later on in the show. But we'll be back after this on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. Want extreme performance, reliability, and the most fun you can have on four wheels? The Polaris RZR brings it to you. But you don't need to take my word for it. You can take theirs.
I'm Tanner Faust, and I choose the Polaris RZR because it's the most fun you can have with a steering wheel.
What's up? I'm Ronnie Renner, and I choose Polaris RZR because it's the sickest, most reliable side-by-side on the planet.
What's up, everybody? Heavy D from Diesel Brothers. Listen, I'm on Team RZR because it's hands down the best piece of machinery on the planet.
I'm RJ Anderson, and I choose Polaris RZR because it's the most fun, most capable machine.
Action sports stars, TV personalities, and some of the best race car drivers in the world all choose Polaris RZR because it's the ultimate combination of power, suspension, agility, and fun. Find out more information on the web at PolarisRZR.com or follow at Polaris RZR on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and use the hashtag RZRLife to share your story. Your life demands a tire that provides durability, comfort, and performance, and that's what General Tire delivers for you. From the all-season grip of the Grabber UHP to the comfort and on-road manners of the Grabber HTS to the durability and off-road traction of the Grabber AT2, General has a tire that will help get you where you need to go. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible, because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
All about sound, the sound of sports, the sound at the racetrack, and the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
Since 1970, KC Highlights has been designing and manufacturing performance lighting for off-road and motorsports, beginning with the legendary Daylighter up until today's revolutionary Flex, Pod, and Pro 6 lighting systems. KC Highlights offers a full line of halogen, HID, and LED lighting solutions for your off-road vehicle. Looking for the best quality lighting? Looking for the brand champions choose? You're looking for KC Highlights. Find out more information at kchighlights.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KC Highlights.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
You're listening to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. All killer and no filler.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. This is the Subaru / DirtFish edition of the radio show. And speaking of Subaru, I'd like to welcome Patrik Sandell, driver from Subaru Rally Team USA, to the show. How's everything going, Patrik?
Absolutely perfect. Thank you very much for having me on the show today.
Yeah, I know. Over the past couple of years, we've had you quite a bit, but I think we haven't caught up since, I think, before the season started when you had just signed with Subaru. I mean, how has that been this year? That was a big step for you to jump into, Subaru Rally Team USA, this factory program. I mean, how has this year treated you so far?
Absolutely perfect. We've been working so hard, I guess, even harder than most of the other teams out there, and we really started to show fantastic performance of Subaru the last couple of weekends. Double podium for me, more or less back-to-back in Atlantic City, and then the next weekend after that in Seattle, and also both me and Atco were able to be fastest in qualifying both days up in Seattle. So I believe the other boys really start to feel the power of Subaru and the pressure now. So I'm very, very happy for the progress we have been able to find out of the car during this year.
Yeah, well, and that being said, I know this car, I mean, Subaru has been in Red Bull Global Rallycross for quite some time. But this car, I mean, starting this year, the car that, you and Atco have been driving, I mean, you guys have been doing a lot of development work. I mean, because this was an all-new car from scratch that you guys have had to help develop and bring up to speed, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. It was a new group of engineers coming in together with the base team of Subaru, and they developed this car more or less over the winter, and we got a first try out, I think it was back in April, so we didn't have much time before the first race, but we've been using all the time we had this year and been able to do a lot of development testing in between the races as well. So we have a good plan both for this season and also moving forward. So we've been able to get a lot of speed out of the car, especially the second half of the season that really starts to show now. So yeah, everybody have done a fantastic job to get this pace out of this car.
Yeah, well, and that's got to be, we've seen, the qualifying efforts by you and Chris, but, I mean, to take a podium in New Jersey, that's, basically the home event for Subaru, and then you take one in Seattle, which is a big market for Subaru, and you took a podium, and I think Chris did as well. I mean, those are back-to-back podiums in some key markets for Subaru. That's got to be really exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. To every track we come, of course, we want to win, and we do everything we can to do it and get podiums for Subaru and for Vermont Sports Car. And to be able to do it on those two places have been just insane. And for me, changing from Brian Herder Rally Sport last year, where we were very successful with both winning races and a lot of podiums, it was a fantastic feeling for me to be able to show everybody that believes in me in Subaru and believes in the brand, that together we can do it, and then also come back and do it again in Seattle and prove to everybody that it was just not a one-off. We are there to fight for podiums now in every weekend, and for the future fight for championships. So it's been some really good months lately.
Yeah, well, and how was that for you? Because, like you said, you spent some time with Andreas, you spent some time there at Brian Herder Rally Sport. I mean, two very, very good teams. But you're a rally guy, and you're a stage rally guy. I mean, I that runs in your blood, and you've seen through your entire career back, Subaru in the WRC days, and you've seen Subaru Rally Team USA and what David and what Travis have done. I mean, how was that for you stepping into Subaru, to this family of Subaru? I mean, the Subaru Nation. I mean, that had to have been something really special, you as a rally guy being able to come in, that and the marketing that Subaru puts behind this team with launch control and everything else they do. I mean, it's first class. I mean, that's had to have been a very good experience for you.
Oh man, absolutely. Joining Subaru is a childhood dream coming true. Here in Europe, I always watched WRC as a kid, and I saw Petter Solberg and Tommy Mäkinen and all the guys, Colin and Richard Burns and all of them driving Subarus, and it was always my childhood dream to join Subaru, and now to be able to finally do it just feels so fantastic. And as you say, there's something special about Subaru and the passion for the brand, and how the fans, they are so fanatic about the cars and us as drivers. So I really feel like I finally have, come home and be able to drive for the brand that, I have loved for so many years, but I have not been really able to show that love publicly. So it's a fantastic feeling.
Yeah. Well, and, in talking about that, I mean, this year, obviously, the speed is there now, and everybody in the paddock knows that. Subaru, I mean, they're here, and you guys have some phenomenal cars. But like you said, I mean, you guys went into this year, you wanted to take podiums. We've proved that Subaru can take podiums, but, this is also wasn't a one-year plan. It's a multi-year plan. I mean, you and Chris, I mean, you've got to be really excited here at the finale with the podiums you guys have been taking the second half of the year. You got to be really excited what 2018 brings and a chance to compete for that title, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And first of all, it feels kind of sad that this season now starts to come to an end when we start to get everything together. But yeah, I know Subaru. They really believe in rallycross and rally as a sport, and then I hope that rally sport in general will be one of their marketing tools for many years ahead. And I would love to be a part of that development. So, we keep pushing, and then we will do everything we can to start to win races very soon. Hopefully already this week.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully this weekend. But how has it been working with Chris? I mean, you've had a lot of teammates throughout your career, but I mean, Chris, he's got a similar background to you. He's a stage rally guy. He's a veteran like you. He's been around for quite some time. I mean, how has that been working with a teammate like that and the development of this car? Because both of you have similar backgrounds. I mean, how has he been as a teammate for you?
Really good. We come from the same background, as you say, and we I think we talk the same language because we are born and raised in the same motorsport school, which is stage rally. So we kind of want the car to be set up more or less similar. And now we know the difference in driving styles. We can kind of follow a weekend together, and we know that we need to be like one or two steps separate on the setup, but we can quickly now work as a team and find a good car for each and every track, and we really work as a good team, me, Chris, and all the engineers and all the mechanics. So it's been a pleasure working with all of them this year, and I'm really looking forward to this weekend in LA. It's a track that have treated me well with some podiums the last couple of years, so I'm going to do everything I can to put this Subaru on top.
Yeah. Well, and that being said, I mean, this weekend going in there, you've got the Andretti team with Tanner and Scott that have been really strong this year. You've got Steve Arpin that's had a phenomenal year this year. I mean, what's it going to take for you and Chris and Subaru to put one of these WRX STIs on top of the box this weekend in LA?
I think we have to have, like every weekend, we have to have a good weekend, a clean weekend, score good points in all the qualifying heats, and put ourselves in a good position in the front row in one of the two semifinals. Again, score ideally a first-place finish in the semifinal, or at least a second-place finish in the semifinal. So we put ourselves in a good position for the final, starting in the front row. And last year I started in the front row on the outside and was able to take the start from that position. So I'm planning to do the same this year.
Yeah. And, obviously, season's winding down. I know you're a guy, though, you don't really stop for much. You over the winter, you do a lot of ice driving and some different kind of racing. I mean, when GRC season wraps up, I mean, what's next for Patrik Sandell through the quote off season?
First of all, I'm actually going to go on a 2-week vacation with my family. So that will be the first step, kind of relax and reload after this season. And then after that, when I come back in beginning of November, all the preparations will start for the future. And I always use the time in the off season wisely and always try to prepare myself in every possible way that I can do. So, I try to do so I'm always 100% ready for the next challenge, and I know the team will do the same thing. So we're gonna get stronger and stronger for every weekend.
Well, and how has it been for you? Because I know you're one of the few guys. There's been a lot of guys that have come from Europe to the United States and tried to do rallycross, and a lot of them have stayed in Europe and kind of been back and forth. I mean, you were one of the guys here a couple years ago, and I know you still go home a lot, but you decided, hey, if I'm going to be a rallycross driver and I'm going to do it in the United States, you kind of transplanted yourself. I mean, do you think that's led to your success? I mean, obviously you've had some victories in GRC. They're not easy to come by. You've had a lot of podiums. I mean, do you feel like kind of planning yourself here in the United States has helped with that?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that I always take everything 100% seriously, and I try to prepare myself in every possible way. And the thing I realized when I started in rallycross was that I was missing a lot of tarmac experience, and I was also missing a lot of experience door-to-door racecraft, and I was missing, the idea about improving just the tenths in one corner, because normally on a stage rally you drive from A to B, and maybe you make a note for next year about the stage, and you keep on going. But here you're doing the track over and over and over again. So I had to reset my brain completely. Of course, I knew how to drive a car, but I really had to go back to school more or less and learn it all over again. And I spent so many hours driving go-karts, not so much this year and the year before, but the first 2-3 seasons of rallycross, and really tried to learn the few things that was missing, that I didn't learn throughout all my years of rallying, to try to be as a complete rallycross driver as possible. And that paid off, all the hard work. So, and then in combination with that, I've been around the sport now for a number of years, and I took a decision early that I wanted to do that in the States. I saw a bigger potential for me as a driver to succeed there, and it's been working out really good. First 2 years with Andreas, and then got signed by Brian Herda, and I always have had Lowe's Improvement and Cobalt Tools that been supporting me, which been fantastic partners to me. And now be able to sign up with Subaru, it's just, everything just falls in place, and I'm so happy.
Yeah. Well, and what is the biggest thing? I mean, you've got a lot of stage rally guys in Europe who have made the transition in RX, and you've got guys like yourself that have made the transition. What is the single hardest thing for you to go from stage rally into rallycross? I mean, what were you not expecting when you made that transition that you went, oh wow, this is something completely different? What was what was the single hardest thing for you to adapt into being a rallycross driver?
I think that the balance of door-to-door racing, because there's not, like in racing, proper racing, you don't touch each other. Like in rally, you are by yourself, and in racing, Formula One, for example, you don't touch each other. But in rallycross, you are allowed to move each other around, and to find that balance and what that really means was for me the hardest thing to do. And if you have a half gap on the inside, should you go for it, or do you need 1.5 car wide on the inside to be able to take that line? And figure all that out took some time, especially the first 2 years. I went from being way too aggressive to not aggressive at all, and then find a happy medium and all that. But I think now that I really learned what situations to put myself into, and I think to be able to be successful over Rallycross weekend, it's all about knowing when to put your nose in and when to not do it.
So before we let you go, I gotta ask one thing, because one of your hobbies is one of my big hobbies. But how is the professional wakeboarding career and wake surfing career coming along, my friend?
It's good, actually. I haven't been able to do too much this summer. I was more active last summer, but as soon as I see a cable park, we stop for a few hours and completely reschedule my day. And as soon as I can go out on a after boat wake surfing, that's just so relaxing. And I've been working on wake surfing on my 360s, and I nailed a few this summer, so I'm super stoked about that. And then on the cable parks, I'm just trying to, keeping in mind that I don't want to hurt myself. I try to keep it on a normal level, but hitting a few rails and doing a few jumps. So yeah, I love it. It's so much fun.
All right. Well, I appreciate the time, Patrik, man. Good luck this weekend in L.A. Hopefully, we can see you and Chris on top of the podium and bringing some wins to Subaru Rally Team USA. And we'll be back after this on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. I'm Polaris rider Jim Beaver. I race trophy trucks professionally, host a Down and Dirty radio show, and also travel the country announcing motorsports events. I've seen it all, and trust me, I've done most of it, so when it comes time to relax on the weekend, nothing is better than taking time with my family in our RZR vehicles. They've got the reliability I need to just pick up and go explore the desert, dunes, or trail, and have the capability to attack even the harshest terrain. If you're looking for some of the most reliable and safest, and hands down most capable off-road machines in the world, look no further than Polaris and their award-winning lineup of RZR vehicles. Whether you want your daughter to experience off-road driving for the first time in a RZR 170 like me, take the entire family out in a RZR XP4 1000 on the weekend, or shred the desert and dunes in the all-new RZR XP 1000 Fox Edition, Polaris has you handled. Take my advice and join me and some of the best drivers in the world by driving a Polaris RZR. Check out the full Polaris RZR lineup at Polaris.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris RZR. Do you race or are you a weekend warrior? Have you checked on the date on your helmet recently? Don't get caught off guard by using an outdated helmet. Impact Racing, the leader in motorsport safety, has new SA 2015 helmets to fit your budget. Whether you're looking for a helmet with a full carbon fiber shell to take you to victory at the Indy 500 or just looking for some helmets for a weekend at Glamis, Impact Racing has a helmet for you. Find out more information at impactraceproducts.com or on Facebook at Impact Safety. For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
$61,000 in guaranteed cash prizes. It's the Crazy Cash Harvest.
Swipe your club card daily to receive drawing entries for the grand finale on November 25th with 3 $5,000 drawings, and one winner will win $25,000.
Plus, every Saturday, $3,500 in guaranteed cash prizes. Drawings from 2 to 6 p.m. Just see the club for details.
Blue Water Resort and Casino. Yeah.
Get ready to get in the holiday spirit. American Idol Season 5 winner Taylor Hicks. Live in concert Saturday, December 9th. Inside the showroom at the Blue Water Resort and Casino. Doors open at 5 p.m. Show starts at 6 p.m. Arizona time. General admission tickets $30. VIP tickets just $40. Tickets on sale now. Visit BlueWaterFun.com or purchase inside the casino gift shop. Don't miss the Taylor Hicks Christmas Show.
Blue Water Resort and Casino. Right on the water. Right on the money.
Want the latest from Jim Beaver and Amy Hood? Follow at JimBeaver15 and at AmyHood71 on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. Awesome time catching up with my good friend Patrik Sandell. Interesting story about Patrik and I. First time I ever met Patrik was when I had a GRC lights test, and somehow he drew the short straw and was the guy in the car with me, kind of my driving coach, right? I dropped the hammer, and about lap 2, woo! I spun that sucker out, and he just looked at me. It was funnier than hell, man. I took out all kinds of cones and everything else. But definitely a good time with Patrik Sandell. Always fun catching up with him. It's he's a class act and a good guy, and stoked to have him in the United States running rallycross, because at some point you all know, like, he could be running in Europe, where it's home to him, running RX or something like that, but he chooses to be here, and obviously Subaru Rally Team USA, that's not a ride that comes along very often, but top-notch program, one of the best in the world, but stoked to have him running here in the United States. And got to give a plug to my other show, Project Action, on Podcast One. from right here in the Polaris Razor studio. Drops every Thursday. Past couple of weeks, we've had some amazing guests on the show. Had pro BMX rider Adam Banton last week. Had Caitlin Ansari recently. Lots of fun over there, so make sure and go to iTunes and subscribe to that and leave some ratings and reviews. Much appreciated. But we're going to be back after this on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. You want extreme performance, reliability, and the most fun you can have on four wheels? The Polaris Razor brings it to you. But you don't need to take my word for it. You can take theirs.
I'm Tanner Faust, and I choose the Polaris Razor because it's the most fun you can have with a steering wheel.
What's up? I'm Ronnie Renner, and I choose Polaris Razor because it's the sickest, most reliable side-by-side on the planet.
What's up, everybody? Heavy D from Diesel Brothers. Listen, I'm on Team Razor because it's hands down the best piece of machinery on the planet.
I'm RJ Anderson, and I choose Polaris Razor because it's the most fun, most capable machine.
Action sports stars, TV personalities, and some of the best race car drivers in the world all choose Polaris Razor because it's the ultimate combination of power, suspension, agility, and fun. Find out more information on the web at PolarisRazor.com or follow at Polaris Razor on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and use the hashtag RazorLife to share your story.
Thanks for tuning in to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, available live online, in syndication on networks across the U.S., and available internationally on the American Forces Network.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Jim Beaver here, bringing you a DirtFish Rally report for this week, brought to you by our good friends at DirtFish Rally School. Find out more information on the web at www.dirtfish.com. Looking for a discount code? Use the coupon code JBDirtFish for 15% off your classes at DirtFish Rally School. Now, big rally news happening this week. This past week, coming out of the Ken Block camp. Obviously, Ken Block, he raced GRC in the past. He's done stage rallies, done everything you can in a rally car. I mean, he's raced WRC. He spent the past 2 years in World Rallycross there in Europe. It sounds like his program with Ford, it's a factory-backed program. It is coming to an end. Ken is still signed with Ford in an ambassador role. He's still going to race Fords, drive Fords, and he's still going to race. But his RX program is coming to an end. Sounds like in this next coming year, he's going to mix in a lot of stage rally with a lot of gymkhana and viral video filming. I'm sure he's going to throw in some UTV stuff as well. Everybody's wondering, stage rally, what are we talking about here? And it looks like he's got a brand new, I say brand new, it's a Ford Escort Cosworth, all-wheel drive Ford Escort Cosworth that he is going to, it's a 91 Ford Escort Cosworth, and it's a WRC spec drivetrain, big turbo, sequential gearbox, all-wheel drive. Looks like he's going to go and run this rad kind of vintage rally car here, I'm sure stateside as well as internationally. He's got some stuff in New Zealand he likes to do and things like that. So it's going to be really exciting to see where Ken turns up in that and what he's got planned. But Ken out of RX, and looks like we're going to see him doing some stuff stateside, which is very welcome for us fans over here for sure. And also have to give a big shout out to our friends at Subaru Rally Team USA. Make sure and check out their video series Launch Control. Drops every Wednesday, and it's just a phenomenal award-winning series. So make sure and keep locked and loaded in that. We got GRC this weekend, the finale from Los Angeles. That's going to be on NBC, so you don't want to miss that either. And that was your Dirtfish Rally report for this week, brought to you by our good friends at DirtFish Rally School. Find out more information on the web at www.dirtfish.com and use that coupon code JBDirtfish for 15% off your classes. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back with more here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. You want extreme performance, reliability, and the most fun you can have on four wheels? The Polaris RZR brings it to you. But you don't need to take my word for it. You can take theirs.
I'm Tanner Faust, and I choose the Polaris RZR because it's the most fun you can have with a steering wheel.
What's up? I'm Ronnie Renner, and I choose Polaris RZR because it's the sickest, most reliable side-by-side on the planet.
What's up, everybody? Heavy D from Diesel Brothers. Listen, I'm on Team RZR because it's hands down the best piece of machinery on the planet.
I'm RJ Anderson, and I choose Polaris RZR because it's the most fun, most capable machine.
Action sports stars, TV personalities, and some of the best race car drivers in the world all choose Polaris RZR because it's the ultimate combination of power, suspension, agility, and fun. Find out more information on the web at PolarisRZR.com or follow at Polaris RZR on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and use the hashtag RazorLife to share your story. Your life demands a tire that provides durability, comfort, and performance, and that's what General Tire delivers for you. From the all-season grip of the Grabber UHP to the comfort and on-road manners of the Grabber HTS to the durability and off-road traction of the Grabber AT2, General has a tire that will help get you where you need to go. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible, because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268-horsepower, turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305-horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Get ready to get in the holiday spirit. American Idol Season 5 winner Taylor Hicks. Live in concert Saturday, December 9th. Inside the showroom at the Blue Water Resort and Casino. Doors open at 5 p.m. Show starts at 6 p.m. Arizona time. General admission tickets $30. VIP tickets just $40. Tickets on sale now. Visit BlueWaterFun.com or purchase inside the casino gift shop. Don't miss the Taylor Hicks Christmas Show.
Blue Water Resort and Casino. Right on the water, right on the money.
As certain as the sun rises and sets around the world, OTSFF Group is dedicated to providing flexible, comprehensive, and reliable transportation solutions. Air transportation, ocean freight, ground transportation, or a combination of services. We offer innovative and custom-built packages specifically designed to meet your transportation needs. OTSFF Group has been keeping shipments moving globally for nearly 2 decades. OTSFF Group, flexible logistics services designed for you. More information at OTSFF.com.
Thanks for tuning in to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, available live online, in syndication on networks across the U.S., and available internationally on the American Forces Network.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. This is our Terracross Starts with Optimus segment, brought to you by our good friends at Optimus Starters, starting every Polaris RZR in the Terracross Championship. And here's the man behind Terracross, Mr. Joe Duncan. Sounds like you're in the car once again, Joe. How's everything going, buddy?
Things are good, Jimmy. Things are good. Just running up to get some stuff prepped, working on that next event. Hopefully we'll have little release coming later today, but I think we've got our site set up and we got our layout and our dates and everything to wrap up this 2017 championship.
I know I am excited. I know I got a nice little thread going on with a few of the Terracross drivers, and we all tell jokes back and forth and things like that. And I think we're all pretty excited about it, Joe. I think I don't know. It was so funny because this year, I know this was kind of a big kind of transition year for the Terracross Championship into the big news that's happening in 2018. But like all of us have said, we were kind of set up knowing this was like a transition year, but Heydays was like the best event Terracross has ever had. Like, it was that good. And so it was like, man, if it can be that good for a transition year, like, man, we're really looking forward to next year.
Well, I think that's the key, is that we're finally able to plan months out and have stuff dialed in. We already have an order of events for the most part for next year. I mean, we know when we're racing, we know where we're racing, we know who we're racing with. It's just something really, really unique for us, as you know, being with us so long. It's really cool, and we have some great partners already coming on board. And unlike normal, where we announce them a few weeks before the event, our goal is to make some announcements before the first of the year here. And we've got some big, cool partners coming on board that are super excited that they're able to plan out so far ahead of time, and the stuff that they're bringing to the table is awesome. And then on top of that, we got guys like Nate Wessel that's now, his gears are turning, and he has some really cool ideas for our course obstacles, and he's actually going to be doing some testing at his property coming up here this fall and yet early in the spring. And he's going to be doing some unique course obstacles that some sponsors are going to be teamed up with for next season. So,
yeah, you there, Joe? I know you're driving. It sounds like it just cut out. Hopefully we didn't lose you. Yep, you there? All right, you're back.
Hey, Jimmy, sorry about that.
Oh, no.
Yeah, just some great things coming for 2018, and Nate Wessel and some course options and some sponsors already on board for him. So, yeah, excited.
That makes me a little bit nervous, Nate Wessel designing stuff. We know what he likes to design. We've seen what Travis has done with Nate Wessel's designs. And we saw what happened the last time. The last time you had like a metal ramp, and that was when our buddy Jimmy Blaze decided he was gonna flip a razor. Oh man, oh Joe.
Well, you can only imagine what he has in store for us.
Yeah, that's definitely no joke. But yeah, I know Terracross. Obviously, we got the finale. Those announcements hopefully coming out today, tomorrow. I know we're a couple weeks out from the finale, but big one, Terracross. You know, we talk about off-road, we talk about TV. Terracross the last couple of years has had one of the definitive packages as far as off-road racing on TV goes, and especially UTV racing. I know we're getting ready to kick off that new TV program the end of this month, right?
Yeah, October 29th is our first episode, and it runs all the way through December 31st, I believe, straight through every Sunday, and on CBS Sports Network, as well as starting in December, all re-airs will go on MAV TV, thanks to Lucas Oil and their partnership this year, and their great TV production company that we get to be a part of, and yeah, we got a lot more television time coming, and also working again on 2018 programs as we speak.
Yeah. Well, and I got to ask, we got the finale coming up. I know the announcement is going to come soon. I've got a pretty good idea where it's at, but I got to ask, you can give us this little teaser. Is it going to be on the long course, or is it going to be on the moto track?
Moto.
Okay. All right. That was what I was looking for. I figured. So, should be fun. I know that track very, very well. Let's hope I don't land in the water.
Yeah, it'll be good. It'll be really good.
Yeah, definitely a great facility. I'm looking forward to getting those announcements out in the wild. I know, we've got that coming up. We've got Camp Razor. We got SEMA. We got a bunch of stuff on the horizon, Joe.
Yeah, we got a booth at SEMA. We got some partners that we're talking to out at SEMA. So Terracross will have a booth out there. So super excited about that. And again, working towards our 2018 stuff. And Jimmy, with this change in venue and change in dates, we may need a Terracross driver or two to fill some cars. of your head, you're always good for getting some spots filled up. There may be one, possibly two machines that we're going to need drivers for. So in all your people out there, have them start contacting you and see who comes up with for options for maybe driving a Terracross here in a couple weeks.
Yeah, we looking for male or female drivers, or what's?
I think one of each right now is what we're looking for. I know with the change in schedule there were some conflicts, and I think we're going to have one in the men's class and one in the women's class that will have spots available. So if you or any of your listeners are interested, they can hit us up on Facebook at Terracross Championship, or hit you up on your social media networks, and we're looking to fill those two spots. So let's see what we can do.
Yeah, my wheels are already ticking. I'm pretty sure we can get those knocked out for you, Joe Duncan. Shouldn't be too hard to get those filled.
You filled a couple classes for us already, so
yeah.
I'm sure not too hard for you.
Oh man. Too fun, Joe. Well, I appreciate the time, my friend. Drive safe. I know we'll see you in a couple of weeks at the Terracross finale. Definitely looking forward to it, and I'm sure we'll run into each other at Camp Razor, SEMA, and probably 2 or 3 places between now and then.
That sounds great, Jimmy. We'll see you soon.
All right. Thanks a lot, Joe.
All right. Bye.
That was Joe Duncan with the Terracross Championship. And, man, there you go. You heard it from the man himself. You think you've got what it takes to go UTV racing against me and some of the best drivers in the world? Doesn't matter if you're male or female. Terracross, they got a couple spots open for the finale here in a couple of weeks. So hit me up, DM me on Twitter or Instagram if you think you got what it takes. It might take a little bit of money. I'm not saying it's a free seat, but we're not talking a massive amount of money either. But and it'll probably take a plane flight as well. But just saying, you think you got what it takes? We hear, I see it all the time. You guys talking trash, this and that, and always got the smack talk going down. Well, I'm telling you, bring it. Terracross Championship. We're looking for some drivers, 1 or 2 spots to fill. Should be a ton of fun. But anyways, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we got Connor the Hammer Martell, DirtFish driver in the GRC series. He's coming up after the break here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. I'm Polaris rider Jim Beaver. I race trophy trucks professionally, host a Down and Dirty radio show, and also travel the country announcing motorsports events. I've seen it all, and trust me, I've done most of it. So when it comes time to relax on the weekend, nothing is better than taking time with my family in our Razor vehicles. They've got the reliability I need to just pick up and go explore the desert, dunes, or trail, and have the capability to attack even the harshest terrain. If you're looking for some of the most reliable and safest, and hands down most capable off-road machines in the world, look no further than Polaris and their award-winning lineup of Razor vehicles. Whether you want your daughter to experience off-road driving for the first time in a Razor 170 like me, take the entire family out in a Razor XP4 1000 on the weekend, or shred the desert and dunes in the all-new Razor XP 1000 Fox Edition, Polaris has you handled. Take my advice and join me and some of the best drivers in the world by driving a Polaris Razor. Check out the full Polaris Razor lineup at Polaris.com, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris Razor. Looking to have some fun on 4 wheels? DirtFish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at DirtFish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle and Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount.
Get ready to get in the holiday spirit. American Idol Season 5 winner Taylor Hicks, live in concert Saturday, December 9th, inside the showroom at the Blue Water Resort and Casino. Doors open at 5 p.m. Show starts at 6 p.m. Arizona time. General admission tickets $30. VIP tickets just $40. Tickets on sale now. Visit BlueWaterFun.com or purchase inside the casino gift shop. Don't miss the Taylor Hicks Christmas Show.
Blue Water Resort and Casino. Right on the water, right on the money.
Do you race or are you a weekend warrior? Have you checked on the date on your helmet recently? Don't get caught off guard by using an outdated helmet. Impact Racing, the leader in motorsport safety, has new SA 2015 helmets to fit your budget. Whether you're looking for a helmet with a full carbon fiber shell to take you to victory at the Indy 500 or just looking for some helmets for a weekend at Glamis, Impact Racing has a helmet for you. Find out more information at impactraceproducts.com or on Facebook at Impact Safety.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
You're listening to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. All killer and no filler.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. Jim Beaver here, just waiting on Connor Martell to call in, Red Bull GRC Lights driver for our good friends at DirtFish Rally School. Should be fun to catch up with him. It's been quite some time, but Connor, just a good kid, man. It's been fun to see his process, you know what I mean? To see him come in a couple years ago, I think it was there at the finale, and see him grow. It's been a ton of fun to see that process. You know, he went from a kid who didn't have a lot of experience to now being the front runner for a championship in lights. So I think that's been a cool process. I think DirtFish has played a big role in that, and I think it's going to be fun to catch up with him. But looks like we got Connor calling in right now. So welcome to the show, Mr. Connor Martell from DirtFish Rally School. How's everything going, Connor?
I'm good. How are you, Jim?
Oh, pretty good, buddy. It's been a while. I was just looking. I was just texting you a call reminder. I was looking. I was like, man, it's been like since January since we've talked. It's been too long, buddy.
Yeah, it has. It for sure has. I'm happy to be back on the show.
Yeah. So I mean, a big thing coming out of Seattle. First off, are you all right? I mean, you took a pretty good dinger there, right? I mean, how's everything with the body? Everything good?
Yeah, everything's feeling a lot better. That day, obviously, I was hurting pretty bad, and a couple weeks after that, my ribs were still pretty sore. But I healed up, and I'm ready for LA. I got to come back strong for the last race of the season.
Yeah. Well, and remind me, and I was trying to think back when I kind of did, when I was kind of previewing the interview, your debut in GRC 2 or 3 years ago, was it at LA, or did you do 2 rounds that year? Or was it just the final round in LA?
No, my first race was in North Carolina at Camp Lejeune, and then that same year I did a race, the final in LA. Okay, yeah,
I couldn't remember if you did a round before LA or if you just did LA. So I mean, you're familiar with this track. I mean, I'm sure it changes a bit year to year, but let's kind of talk about this year, because I know talking with you at the beginning of the year, one of the big things is you wanted that championship, right? And I mean, it was there. You've been strong all year long, up until the way things happened in Seattle. But you got to be pretty happy with the way things have been shaping up with your career. I mean, I know coming in you didn't have a lot of experience in rallycross, and you've gone from not having a lot of experience to being the guy in lights. I mean, you're one of you can count 1, 2, maybe 3 guys that you think are going to win every weekend, and you're one of those guys. I mean, that's got to feel pretty good for you to be in that position.
Yeah, no, it feels amazing for sure, and I can't thank the DirtFish team enough for helping me out and giving me a place to train and stuff. And we've progressed a lot as a team over the past couple of years, so I'm really happy about that. And racing against Cyril, who is now the championship leader, and he won the championship this year. Racing against him is an honor, because beating him is like beating the best lights driver out there, because he's won the FIA World Rallycross Championships, and now he's won the GRC Championship. And Yeah, I've definitely done a lot better this year than I did last year, and I was consistent. And it stinks that Seattle ended up the way it did, but there's still a chance for me to get second, so that's what I'm going for in LA.
Yeah. Well, and how has it been with you? I mean, obviously you're surrounded by rally, whether you're there in Vermont, when you're there at DirtFish in Seattle. I mean, how has that played into, to your evolution? I know you got a background, in motocross and things like that, but wherever you go, you're surrounded by rally. And I mean, you've got some of the best minds, in rally in the United States there, to pick their brains. I mean, how has that been, whether it be on the Vermont and the Subaru rally team side or there at DirtFish? I mean, and obviously having cars at your disposal to be able to train, at DirtFish. I mean, how has that been for you? I mean, it's got to, feel pretty good to be able to ping questions off these people that know so much knowledge.
Yeah, for sure. Because when I'm at the races and stuff, I can go over to the Subaru team and I talk to Chris Atko and Patrik Sandell about the track and see what they think about this turn or that turn. And then I go to the DirtFish team and they all know about everything about rallycross. We've been doing it for 2 years now. So I really trust the DirtFish team, and I can come out here and train and test, and they help me get faster using my skills. And it's really nice to have so many people that are backing me up, and I just couldn't ask for any more. The only reason I'm where I'm at now is because of DirtFish and the people I've been surrounded by.
Yeah. Well, and that being said, obviously, you become one of the top guys, in the lights division. I know obviously for one reason or another, the championship kind of eluded you this year. But I know, you had said, long term, you really want to have that supercar ride, but you also said that you would really like a lights championship before you even started pursuing that. I mean, looking at 2018, I know it's still early, but, do you feel like you're going to be in lights another year and try and go for that championship, or do you think there's a shot that maybe you jump up the ladder a bit?
Yeah, honestly I have no idea. No one really knows until the summer, until the beginning of next year what's going to happen. I mean, there's been talk where I'm going to stay in lights and race FIA or I'll stay in lights and race GRC. It all depends. If a supercar ride says, hey, yeah, you want to drive, then of course I'll hop in, but those chances are slim, and we just have to wait for the right opportunity. We have to wait for the right call. It's all just a little bit of a waiting game until the season starts coming back around next year. But as long as I'm driving, I'll be happy. Like you said, I really wish I could have a lights championship before I move up into the supercar, because that's kind of like a milestone. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Well, how has it been this year, too? I mean, James, your teammate James Rimmer, I mean, it's a two-car team now. You guys have become pretty close friends. He's a young gun kind of like you. I mean, he's had some really phenomenal results this year for his first really full-time year in GRC lights. But, I mean, how has that been for you, having a teammate there? I mean, you get double the data, you get double the knowledge. I mean, how has it been with a two-car effort?
Yeah, it's actually helped out a lot more than I thought it would, because, after practice or each race, we pull data from both cars and we can look at where he's faster than me and where I'm faster than him, and we can pinpoint the perfect lines on the track and where we need to be and what gear we need to be in for each turn. And just having someone there to talk to about the track is really helpful. And, yeah, he's improved so much this year. He's gotten so much faster, and he's doing really well. Like in Seattle, it was such bad luck that he got taken out in that turn, because he probably would have won every single race on Sunday, because he was just on fire, and I was so happy to see him out front and everything, even though I couldn't be out there. But it's been great having a teammate like James with me this year, because me and him are such good friends.
Yeah. So, heading into the finale in Los Angeles, I mean, it's, I got to say, you got to feel like you're in a pretty good position here, right? Because, you don't at this point, you don't really have to worry about, the championship. It's not like you can lose it. You've got nothing to lose, basically, right? So you feel like you can go into LA and it just guns a-blazing and leave it all on the line, right? I mean, you can take chances that normally you possibly couldn't. I mean, it's got to be a pretty good feeling for you going into LA, knowing, hey, man, I got nothing to lose here. We can drop the hammer and, and just go for this thing, right?
Yeah, it's not a double header weekend like the final round normally is. So And like you said, I don't have anything to lose. I know I can't win the championship now, but it's possible for me to get a second place. So all I need to do is race as hard as I can and do what I need to do to get out front, either behind or ahead of Cyril. And as long as I'm ahead of Travis Picoy and Christian Brooks, there shouldn't be a problem with me getting a second place in the championship this year. So that's what I'm going for.
Yeah. Well, I got to ask, I mean, you coming in here, you had the motocross background, and, what's the biggest thing in these couple of years that you've been in, in GRC Lights? I mean, what was the biggest thing coming in that you've learned that you didn't expect? You had no idea it was coming, and now you look back and you're like, oh, wow, that was so different than the way I thought it would be. I mean, what's the biggest thing you've learned your couple of years in GRC Lights?
Probably just how professional it is, how competitive everything is. Every driver here wants to win, and they don't leave anything out on the track. They're not afraid to hit you or anything like that. And that was kind of different than motocross because I was always in the amateur level. So, it was professional, but just not as much as this racing is and stuff like that. And in the amateur level, you don't see as many takeouts in motocross and stuff like that. But in rallycross, there's always bumping and banging, and it was something you kind of just had to get used to. But I adapted to it pretty well, and I'm happy with how it's been going.
Yeah, for sure. You're definitely doing a phenomenal job, man. Well, before we let you go, one last question, and I gotta ask this one. I mean, how's it been? I mean, with DirtFish, I mean, you've been bouncing around. They've put you in all these different cars. I mean, I know you went and did like some Formula cars and things like that. How has that been? I mean, being able to try all your hand at all these different disciplines.
Yeah, it's actually just it's really cool. I couldn't be happier being on the DirtFish team because I've been able to do so many different things. And like you said, I drive all kinds of different cars. And I've been to Bondurant a couple times. I drove the Dodge Viper, the Formula 4 car, or the Formula Mazda car. And just being able to drive all these different types of cars are just putting more, just better things in my tool belt for other cars that I drive. I'm learning so much about different cars, and I can take that on to other racing, and it'll help me out in other places and other cars that I drive in.
Yeah, I got to ask too. When any itch to get back in a stage rally car? I know you've toyed at that now. I know you said you've had a lot of fun with that. Any stage rallies in the future?
I hope so. I really am trying to do Tall Pines actually because it's kind of close to home. So. I really do want to get back in a rally car, an all-wheel drive rally car this time, and see what I can do with that. Stage rally is one of my favorites, and that's what I mostly grew up around. So I'm really hoping to get in a rally car seat before the end of the year.
Awesome. Well, looking forward to it, man. Good luck this weekend in L.A. Looking forward to seeing DirtFish on top of the box. And I'm predicting, 1-2 with you and James maybe. I think that'd be a good way to cap off the year. But thanks for calling in, my friend.
Thank you very much, Jim.
All right. Take it easy, Connor.
Bye.
Bye. And that was Connor Martell with DirtFish Rally School, Team DirtFish and GRC Lights. They're racing the finale this weekend in Los Angeles. We'll be back after this on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. I'm Polaris rider Jim Beaver. I race trophy trucks professionally, host a Down and Dirty Radio Show, and also travel the country announcing motorsports events. I've seen it all, and trust me, I've done most of it. So when it comes time to relax on the weekend, nothing is better than taking time with my family in our Razor vehicles. They've got the reliability I need to just pick up and go explore the desert, dunes, or trail, and have the capability to attack even the harshest terrain. If you're looking for some of the most reliable and safest, and hands down most capable off-road machines in the world, look no further than Polaris and their award-winning lineup of Razor vehicles. Whether you want your daughter to experience off-road driving for the first time in a Razor 170 like me, take the entire family out in a Razor XP4 1000 on the weekend, or shred the desert and dunes in the all-new Razor XP 1000 Fox Edition, Polaris has you handled. Take my advice and join me and some of the best drivers in the world by driving a Polaris Razor. Check out the full Polaris Razor lineup at Polaris.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris Razor.
Life is all about sound, the sound of sports, the sound at the racetrack, and the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
Do you race, or are you a weekend warrior? Have you checked on the date on your helmet recently? Don't get caught off guard by using an outdated helmet. Impact Racing, the leader in motorsport safety, has new SA 2015 helmets to fit your budget. Whether you're looking for a helmet with a full carbon fiber shell to take you to victory at the Indy 500, or just looking for some helmets for a weekend at Glamis, Impact Racing has a helmet for you. Find out more information at ImpactRaceProducts.com or on Facebook at Impact Safety. Since 1970, KC Highlights has been designing and manufacturing performance lighting for off-road and motorsports, beginning with the legendary Daylighter up until today's revolutionary Flex, Pod, and Pro 6 lighting systems. KC Highlights offers a full line of halogen, HID, and LED lighting solutions for your off-road vehicle. Looking for the best quality lighting? Looking for the brand champions choose? You're looking for KC Highlights. Find out more information at kchighlights.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KC Highlights.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Like what you hear? Catch all the back episodes of the Down and Dirty Radio Show on Apple Podcast, and be sure to rate, review, and subscribe.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Right now, we're going to cut to a Q&A segment Amy and I recorded last week for Project Action on Podcast 1. So it's all relevant. It's all Baja and Monster Energy Cup questions. We thought we'd drop that in the show this week because we had a ton of fun doing it, and just to show you guys what you're missing by not listening to Project Action. So here's Amy and I rapping on all your fan questions. Next question's Ben and Pomona, two-parter. Predictions for Monster Energy Cup, and what do you guys think about Red Bull Straight Rhythm this year and the new 250 two-stroke class they're having?
Yeah!
So
I'm loving the two-stroke class.
Yeah.
That's super sick. Obviously, Ronnie Mack kind of came out and, obviously he's on a little bit of a clapped-out vintage bike, but Ronnie Mack definitely put it down to the two strokes. I feel like two strokes are coming back in style.
Well, Chad Reed said he's going to race. He's going to race Straight Rhythm on a two-stroke. Like, that's badass.
Everybody's chained into a two-stroke. Have you seen all the pros in their off season hopping on a two-stroke? That's because they've been beating their bodies on these four strokes forever, and they have crazy seasons, and they're just focused on winning, man. You get on a two-stroke, you're having some fun. It's like a change of pace. And, I've seen so many riders post videos of them ripping two-strokes. It's been awesome. It's really cool to see. But, I think it's going to definitely make things interesting. And it's like a trend, trends come and go, and they come and go. And, skinny jeans were once in when the punk, the 80s punk was around, and then they went away, and baggy pants are in, and skinny jeans are in again. Like, it's just like the two-stroke. The two-stroke is back in style. It is super gangster, and everybody wants one. Yeah. And just so you guys know, if you've been following my social media, you know that I have Black Betty, my 2003 YZ250 two-stroke. Well, I haven't fully announced it, so I think I'm going to give the privilege to the podcast, the first unveiling of my new toy, and her name is White Lightning, and it is a 2005 YZ250 two-stroke. But honestly, the difference from the 2003 to 2005 is night and day difference. I love this bike so much more, and just wait till you see White Lightning. So now I have Black Betty and White Lightning, and them two strokes are on point.
Yeah, well, there's rumors, and this has been floating around for a while, and I've seen stuff recently, as of in the past week, floating around the internet, that Honda is going to bring back the CR500. And I'm just saying, if Honda brings back a CR500, put me on the list. I am buying one day one. Like,
Well, I'm
seriously.
pretty sure Tim Hood is already on the list and has been on that list for like 17 years. So,
Right? Yeah.
I mean, he has a pretty gangster 500 for the ice, and he actually boarded out to a 575. That
Holy
thing
crap,
is just
Tim
on
Hood.
steroids. Yeah, but that'd be cool. I really wish Honda would bring back their two-strokes. They had it. The last year, their 2007 125 was such a great bike, and I see in the near future Honda coming back with their 125 and 250 two-stroke, but that 125 is probably one of the funnest bikes I've ever ridden in my life. And it was actually Weston Pike's mechanic had sold his super done up 125 and 250 to a friend of my dad's here in Winnipeg, and I got to ride them, and so much fun.
Yeah, I'm a two-stroke fan for sure. I know Amy is. Like, I don't know. It's got me excited about straight rhythm. Not that straight rhythm isn't exciting, but I think that bringing in two strokes, it's going to be rad. So definitely I'm excited about that. Predictions for Monster Energy Cup. Like Amy said, like, I don't know. I haven't really studied a whole ton. I know the big news, Barsha, he's going to be running a privateer Honda.
Privateer.
That's some pretty big news. So I don't know.
He has no sponsorship. He sucked the bed this year. No offense. I mean,
yeah.
Offense taken if you're listening, Barsha. But, he was always a top runner. He was always at the top of the pack. And he was somebody that I thought would be giving Tomac for a run for his money. And, he just kind of disappeared off the face of the earth. I know he's had some injuries, but a little disappointed with his performance, but I honestly think if we're talking Monster Energy Cup, Cooper Webb is going to be the wild card.
Yes.
He had some solid finishes last year come the end of Supercross in 450s, and now I just think he's kind of done his homework, had a good outdoor season, and this kid's ready to rock. He's ready to win some money, and I think he's going to do really good.
Like, seriously, I mean, obviously Tomac's going to be strong. You've got Anderson, who you can never count out. And then Davey, let's not forget about Davey Millsaps. He won Monster Energy Cup in 2014. So, Millsaps is there too. Like, I don't know. There's a list of guys. It's 3 races. It's tough. It's not just winning one. You got to win 3. Like, it's, that's what makes it so fun.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So I don't know.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Yeah, it is a wild card. So you have to take into consistency. Boom, we all know Tomac ain't got no consistency. Yeah. And it's a very aggressive, we got $1 million on the line. That those first and second motos is what counts. And I just think you're going to see a lot of people putting a lot on the line in their riding style. But this is also one of those races that you don't see some of the top guys because they didn't want to take that risk before a Supercross season starts and, potentially get hurt or whatnot. So you do kind of see, like, we'll call it like the A+ tier and then the A tier and then the BCs and Ds and whatnot. I feel like those top A+ tier level riders, who are in the hunt for a Supercross championship, might pull themselves out of Monster Energy Cup. Unlike other riders who, they might be an A+ rider. Are they a contender for a Supercross championship? Maybe not. So I feel like this is where you get some of these wild cards that, people who are unexpected because they might not be ultimately focusing on a Supercross championship. Yes, podiums, yes, whatever, but, I just think you get a little different of a mix-up. So I'm interested, too. Monster Energy Cup is always a great time. It's always exciting, and I just loved when Ryan Dungey missed the Joker lane twice.
Well, and that's the thing, you're talking about it, and there's a lot of guys who will show up that are A+ guys, and if they have a bad first moto, finish 5th or 6th, they just quit. They quit, and they're like, oh, we'll let the other guys. Because if you win and you don't win all 3, you only get $100,000, which to me is a massive amount of money. But to the top tier guys, I mean, they're there for the million. So, they
are, and that's true. You do see a lot of people line up, and if they don't win, you have to win the first moto. You have to. So, it should be interesting, and it's always kind of cool to see who doesn't show up too. Like, I feel like that is kind of almost an announcement for, like, hey, I'm putting in the work here. I'm in to win Supercross. So I always like to see, and again, I had to really focus and follow along this year a lot more. I was obviously extremely occupied with Monster Jam, but I'm hoping to have some more opportunities to watch a couple more Supercrosses and follow up with my friends. It's been a long time that I used to go to Supercross every year for 3 years and in a row, almost all of them. So it's not as fun watching it from the sidelines or from my show office room after my shows, but my Supercross fantasy pool sucks. So I need to brush up on my rider knowledge because last year I did horrible. I kept betting on my friends, and they were really letting me down. So. Yeah.
So next two questions are kind of aimed at me, and then we've actually got some questions aimed right at Amy. So next two ones I'll try and knock out. Jim, this is Matt in San Diego, by the way. First, these next two questions are both from him. Jim, serious pick to win the Baja 1000 point-to-point this year in Trophy Truck. Oh, serious pick. So you don't want like my friendly picks and stuff like that. All right, I'm going to give you three names. One, Andy McMillan. Dude's won just about everything in the past 2 years. He's safe bet. Guy's on point. He's going to be really, really tough to beat. So I think Andy's a safe bet, and all three of these are safe bets. But Rob McCachran, I mean, this guy's won how many in a row now in Baja at the 1,000? And I think he's teaming with Voss again. Like, Rob McCachran's going to be ridiculously tough to beat. And then my third one, and because of how he's approaching this year, Bryce Menzies. Bryce is only running a handful of events this year, so he can concentrate strictly on those events. We saw it in Crandon. He took like a month and a half off before Crandon. He went back there and won every division and swept the entire weekend and won everything. And he's taking that approach for the Baja 1000. He's not running any of the desert events leading up to it, and he's concentrating strictly on that race. So when you got a guy putting that much money and that much dedication to it, he's going to be tough to beat. So I would say your winner in Trophy Truck's going to boil down to Andy, Rob Mack, and Bryce. Not to say that Robbie Gordon's not going to play in or B.J. Baldwin, but I think those three are safe bets if we're talking real and not like favorites here, right? So those are my picks for Baja. And then the next one, the sport of off-road racing is evolving. This is still Matt in San Diego. He's a desert racing guy. I like it. What do you think we will see technology-wise in the top divisions of the sport in Trophy Truck in the desert and Pro 4 in short course? Trophy Truck, that's easy, man. We're seeing it right now. It's kind of why I'm going UTV stuff. They've priced me out of the game, man. They're going to all-wheel drive, sequential gearboxes, uber lightweight, aerospace parts, aerodynamic carbon fiber bodies. Like, Bryce Menzies has $1 million+ truck being built right now, all-wheel drive, and things looks like a fighter jet. It's crazy. So, the gearbox technology is going crazy. I mean, electronic suspension. Rob McCachran's got electronically controlled suspension where he pushes a button on the dash and it can lower the truck when he gets in high-speed sections. Like, we're getting crazy stuff going on. So that's kind of the future, and it's not like the future. We're talking like in the next 12 months. Pro 4, I don't know as much about short course. I know, obviously, sequential gearboxes came in, made a big difference there. Kyle LeDuc, he's pushing the limits with the aerodynamics. There's not a whole lot you can do, but he's really using aerospace tubing with different angles to help cut wind drag and things like that. So Pro 4 is innovating, but I don't know if it's technologically. I think it's going to be like aerodynamic-wise and things like that. So, good questions, Matt in San Diego. Next one, this is Kelly in Baltimore for Amy. Amy, I saw you in Monster Jam earlier this year. I'm assuming maybe the Baltimore show. Were you in Baltimore this year?
I sure was.
Oh, okay. Well, Kelly must saw you in Baltimore. But
hi, Kelly.
Yeah. So what was the first, and this isn't even a Monster Jam question, which is funny. What was the first age you tried a dirt bike? What kind of bike was it? And what made you try riding a dirt bike?
So, a lot of people don't really know now because I have a new fan base of Monster Jam. So a lot of people don't know how I started getting into this crazy world of motor and action sports. But it's actually because of my dad. My dad is 2-time Canadian national champion and an over 40 and over 50 world vet motocross champion. Like, the guy is a legend. He's 62 years old and can still beat half of the 18-year-old kids out there. Like, he's gnarly. So, and I'm an only child. So, my mom and dad used to go to the races together every weekend and travel around. And then I came around and they just kept doing the same thing. I was born at the motocross track and I grew up at the races. And I had a little PW50, like the little old blue ones, a little PW with big old training wheels on when I was 2 years old. And that was my first dirt bike. But I wasn't ever pressured into racing. Like, I had a bike. I could ride it when I want to, but there was no 50 class back then. Like, I'm talking, probably 25 years ago. There was no 50cc class, and it was just me and this other girl, another daughter of one of the pro riders, who just kind of rode our little bikes around in the pits, and we had fun with it. But over the years, I think I was maybe 4, and my dad started the first 50 class in Manitoba so that we could race. It was me and Vicky and then another boy, and we were the first little kids, and it was awesome. But years went on, and sometimes I was interested and sometimes I wasn't. Some years I did gymnastics and swimming and taekwondo and a whole bunch of different sports, but I remember getting dead last in super mini class all the time, and I hated it. I hated getting beat by the boys. So I started going to practice days with my dad on my 80 and riding more and practicing more and actually listening to what he had to say about how to do this jump and how to turn that corner. And I just remember I had a really good year. I worked really hard, and I finished 3rd overall in like a full stack 45 rider super mini class in the boys class. And I knew from that day forward that I wanted to kick all the guys' butts all throughout the rest of my life. And
all right, and those are some Q&As. You can get more of that on Project Action on Podcast 1. But we're going to come back and wrap things up here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. You want extreme performance, reliability, and the most fun you can have on 4 wheels? The Polaris RZR brings it to you. But you don't need to take my word for it. You can take theirs.
I'm Tanner Faust, and I choose the Polaris RZR because it's the most fun you can have with a steering wheel.
What's up? I'm Ronnie Renner, and I choose Polaris RZR because it's the sickest, most reliable side-by-side on the planet.
What's up, everybody? Heavy D from Diesel Brothers. Listen, I'm on Team RZR because it's hands down the best piece of machinery on the planet.
I'm RJ Anderson, and I choose Polaris RZR because it's the most fun, most capable machine.
Action sports stars, TV personalities, and some of the best race car drivers in the world all choose Polaris RZR because it's the ultimate combination of power, suspension, agility, and fun. Find out more information on the web at PolarisRZR.com or follow at Polaris RZR on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and use the hashtag RazorLife to share your story.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Looking to have some fun on 4 wheels? DirtFish Rally School has you covered, packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at DirtFish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle and Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount.
Life is all about sound, the sound of sports, the sound at the racetrack, and the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Like what you hear? Catch all the back episodes of the Down and Dirty Radio Show on Apple Podcast, and be sure to rate, review, and subscribe.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Another fun show. Don't forget, we got that GRC finale coming up at you this weekend in Los Angeles. Be airing on TV on NBC, but we got a big, big weekend for TV. Not only that, but the 14th, we got Crandon. That's right, Red Bull Signature Series from Crandon. I was back there, did some radio and hosting and event work, and you should listen to that podcast I did. It's on Podcast One. But, yeah, it's at 12 Pacific on the 14th on NBC. We got Crandon, part of the Red Bull Signature Series. Then the 15th, at 2 o'clock Pacific on ABC, we've got the UTV World Championship, the Polaris Razor UTV World Championship, as part of the World of X Games. So I'm telling you, man, it is a packed weekend for you fans you fans of off-road, that's for sure. Throw in some Red Bull GRC, and then, Monster Energy Cup, man. It's a packed weekend, 4 big events. Big shout-out to our good friends at Polaris, Razor, General Tire, Subaru, KC Allied, Gibson Exhaust, DirtFish, Impact, OTSFF, Optimus, Terracross, the Blue Water Resort and Casino, and our friends at GenuinePolarisParts.com. Don't forget to use that coupon code, GenuinePolarisParts.com/JimBeaver, and you'll get a discount when you use that URL. Give me a follow. It's at JimBeaver15 on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Amy is at AmyHood71. Don't forget, please go over and subscribe to the Down and Dirty Radio Show as well as Project Action on iTunes, and that discount coupon code for Dirtfish Rally School is JB Dirtfish. We got a packed show coming at you next week. Massive guest list. Be ready for that. Be safe this weekend. Tune in. Let me know your picks. Always like to hear from you on social media. Be safe. As always, game on.